The film begins in the middle of a large cornfield where teenagers from a town are gathered. They are assembled in front of the Payne syrup factory, staying up late and celebrating hidden from their parents. One of the girls, nicknamed Clown, starts to feel watched from the field as soon as she steps out. She gets up to see who it is, and a boy follows her. But as soon as they move away from the rest of the group, a clown emerges and brutally dispatches them. Years after this event, we meet our protagonist Quinn, who has moved with her father to a new town. It's the same town where the events of the intro took place. They've moved here to start a new life because the pair lost an important family member. Quinn's mother died of an overdose. It seems Glenn is still affected by her death, as a doctor couldn't save her in time. Our protagonist is also deeply saddened, but she's determined to start a new life here in this strange town. She looks out the window and sees the Bay factory from the intro, a factory completely blackened by fire. It appears to have burned recently for reasons we'll soon discover. Quinn doesn't dwell on it and starts arranging her belongings. The next morning, as soon as she wakes up, instead of going straight to school, she finds her neighbor's son waiting for her outside. This guy, Rust, has come to give her a ride. She goes with him, and along the way he warns her about the strange people living in the town. She gets acquainted with him and rushes into the classroom where the lesson has already begun. The teacher yells at her a bit, tells her to sit down, and then continues explaining the lesson. But the students were waiting for him to lower the projection screen because they had set up a prank for him. A girl named Janet filmed the whole thing on her phone for reasons we'll soon learn. The teacher naturally gets angry and decides to give them a surprise exam. He then punishes all the students who complained, including our protagonist, who was already late for class. He makes them stay in class during lunchtime. As we see, Janet pulls out the video she filmed and shows them the prank video, which they plan to upload to YouTube. It seems they have a small channel with 60,000 subscribers. This channel is shared by Cole, Matt, and Tucker, and the girls Janet and Ronnie. They became famous for their videos filmed at the Payne syrup factory, the factory that produces corn syrup. Its mascot is the clown in the picture, a strange clown named Friendo. The legend says that this creature lives in the cornfield and loves to kill disrespectful teenagers. Quinn then asks them about a party that's going to be held in the coming days, the centennial celebration of the Payne factory's founding. It seems the factory is owned by Cole's father, the town's mayor, Arthur. Later that evening, Quinn goes out to dinner with her father, and as we see, she's distracted by videos of her new friends, but her father gets angry because she caused trouble at school. She tells him that she didn't do anything and that the teacher is crazy, just like the waitress she starts glancing at. It seems the town's adults don't get along with teenagers, especially Cole's group, who are known for causing chaos in town. Officer Dan explains to them that they were the ones who burned the factory and started the fire at Payne factory. He then advises Quinn to try to stay away from them, as their company only brings trouble. Glenn at that moment thanks him for the advice and invites him to join them for dinner at the table. Quinn loses her appetite and gets up to take a stroll in town, telling her father that she's going straight home. Indeed, Quinn goes for a walk until she meets the group, Cole's group, who invite her to hang out with them in front of the Payne factory. But before they go, they decide to steal alcohol from the store. Matt and Tucker get into a fight, leaving the rest to do their work. They then go to the factory in front of the cornfield, where we see an unknown figure watching them from afar. The group doesn't notice him and starts talking about their lives, getting to know our protagonist, who tells them her life story. Matt at that moment rushes to the bathroom while Quinn asks them if they really burned the factory. Cole tells her that they did go in that night to film a video, but he assures her that they weren't the ones who started the fire. It seems the town's adults blamed them and suspect that one of them started the fire just to frame them and make people hate them. Let's go back to our friend, who was still emptying the tank when a clown suddenly appears. It looks like he stabbed him in the stomach with a knife, and the boy is about to burn in front of the rest of the group. The clown then jumps to attack our protagonist, but Cole grabs her and they all start laughing. It turns out this whole thing was just a prank they filmed to upload to YouTube. As we see, Tucker was the one wearing the costume. They then sit and talk, and Quinn tells them about her mother's death. Cole tells her that his younger sister also died. She went out with him and drowned in the river. Because of this event, he started to hate his father to a great extent. He blames him for neglecting her, and his hatred grew after their factory burned down. As soon as the commotion ends, Cole drops off our protagonist at her house, where she finds her father waiting for her. He yells at her because first, she didn't consult him, and second, he had forbidden her from going out at night. But our protagonist doesn't stay silent and pours her heart out. She tells him that he also didn't consult her when he decided to move to this cursed town. She then goes upstairs to her room crying until her friends send her the prank video. She watches it until she reaches a scene where she sees another clown hidden in the background. She immediately sends a screenshot to the whole group, and they are indeed shocked by that, especially Tucker, who turns on the intercom camera and finds a clown standing in front of the door. His friends are just Matt and Cole, who are trying to film a prank, and that's why we see him coming out laughing. As we see, he finds a wallet and a plastic bag on the floor of the room where he finds the clown toy, the same toy we saw in the film's intro. The boy is scared but turns it on to see what will happen. And as soon as the clown comes out of the box and the creature goes back to its place, he finds a real clown behind him who stabs him with a knife and covers him with the plastic bag so as not to stain the floor. The next morning Cole was heading to the party organized by his father in the city, the centennial celebration of the founding of the Bay factory. His father wouldn't let him go because he was still punishing him for the fire incident, but he forgave him and let him go out with his friends. It seems his father is going to host the party since he is the mayor of the city and the owner of the Bay Payne factory which he inherited from his ancestors. The man welcomed his people and let them enjoy the parade where, as we see, they present the mascot of Bay Payne, the strange clown named Friendo. Our protagonist at that moment joins the group who apparently are going to film a new video. They ask Cole and Quinn to film with their phones and go to call Matt, who enters wearing the clown mask and starts playing with fireballs until they fall into the corn cart. The dry corn immediately catches fire and the statue of Friendo also burns down. It falls on a lady in front of Arthur's eyes who sees his son from afar and knows he is responsible. The duo, as we see, run away from there, but Dan catches them and takes them to the police station. He leaves them there for long hours next to an old man who starts talking nonsense. He tells them that they will all die tonight. Friendo will kill them because they disrespected him. The group ignores what he says and waits until Dan comes to release them. Of course he is furious with his daughter, who since she started hanging out with these brats has only brought him trouble. On another note, Matt, who had escaped from the police, was training in the garage. As soon as he finished the first set, he saw the clown box, but he thought it was just his friends coming to film a prank with him. That's why he threw it in the trash and continued his workout. The toy opened by itself, and then a clown emerged who wouldn't let him put down the weights. As we see, Matt starts laughing because his friend Tucker, who is wearing the mask, doesn't know that this clown killed him last night and has now come to kill him too. He attaches the saw to Matt's arm and lets his hands tire out before chopping off his head, which lands directly in the cooler. He then picks it up to go eliminate the rest of the group for reasons we'll learn at the end of the film. Later that night, our protagonist was lying in her room when Cole invited her to the party organized in front of his father's factory. The girl checks on her father, who she finds asleep on the couch, and then sneaks out with Cole to change the atmosphere. As we see, they were almost in a car accident on the road, nearly hitting Rust, who was hunting in the forest. The boy warned our protagonist about the strange things happening in the cornfield, but neither she nor Cole paid him any attention. Cole then takes her to the party organized at his father's factory, and it seems he has invited all the teenagers in town. They also find Janet and Ronnie there, who ask them about Matt and Tucker, but no one has seen them. They think they're busy filming a video, especially when a girl emerges from the field and collapses in front of them. They think she's just acting and approach her looking for a hidden camera. But an unknown person throws a severed head at them, Matt's head wearing a clown mask. They scream until a clown emerges from the field, who eliminates them with the bow he's carrying. Our protagonist dodges the blow from Janet, and they run to hide with the rest of the teenagers. Luckily, Rust, who was just hunting in the forest, arrives at that moment and kills the clown before he can get close to the girls. Quinn thanks Rust and asks them to call the police, but they explain that there's no signal in this area. It seems they won't even be able to escape by car because the clown has flattened their tires and removed their batteries. Rust at that moment asks the girls to remove the mask from the corpse to identify the victim. As soon as they get close, 7 more appear. 7 clowns emerge from the field, all carrying weapons. Rust hits them with his shotgun, blowing off one's hand, while Cole hits the second one, who was about to kill our protagonist. They then flee to a shack because Rust doesn't have much ammunition left. And as we see, they close the door just in time. On another note, Glenn goes to talk to his daughter and discovers that she went out without his knowledge. He immediately goes down to look for her in the city and tries to talk to her on the phone, but he only gets her voicemail because, as we saw, there's no signal in the factory area. The man is surprised when he sees that the door of his clinic is broken and rushes down to see who broke it. He finds the clowns from earlier there, and it seems they brought him their friend who was hit in the hand by Rust. At that moment, he asks his friend to put down the knife and help him. He secretly steals the knife and stabs him in the neck. As soon as he gets rid of him, he immediately grabs the walkie-talkie and hears other clowns talking about his daughter. He realizes they are still near the Bay Payne factory and immediately goes to rescue her before they catch her. He goes to save his daughter, who got into the car of the guy she killed, but it turns out she doesn't know how to drive a manual car. Unfortunately, the clown with the chainsaw hears her, and as we see, he emerges from the field. The girl tries to shift gears but can't, her car stalls and she's stuck there with the clown. The clown with the chainsaw knocks her out with a single blow to the head. She wakes up a short while later to find him dragging her. He takes her to the factory where the rest of the group is waiting for her. The girl is shocked by the identity of one of them, who turns out to be Officer Dan. As for the others, they turn out to be the store owner, the coffee shop waitress, and even the teacher who punished them that day at school. It appears that our friends have formed a clown gang and have specifically gathered to eliminate Quinn and her friends. Dan hits her with an electric baton, leaving her screaming. When she asks them why they are doing this, their leader, who turns out to be Arthur Cole's father, approaches her. She pleads with him to let her go, saying she hasn't done anything, but he tells her to be quiet and explains why they killed her friends and why they want to kill her too. He tells her that his great-grandfather opened the Payne factory in the 1930s, a factory that boosted the town's economy and improved the financial situation of its people. Economic growth led to an influx of outsiders, teenagers, and young people who came in large numbers to find jobs. These young people, whom he called brats, ruined their town, and his great-grandfather was forced at that time to form this clown gang to cleanse the entire town of those brats. This gang was inherited through generations until it reached him, and he is now its leader. He continued the work his ancestors started, helping the town preserve its original character. He tells her that this is why they got rid of her friends who caused them problems with their videos. It seems he's even willing to get rid of his own son, whom he hates to a great extent since his younger daughter died because of him. As we see, he's going to hang him to pin the blame for the murders on him. People will say that he killed his friends and then hanged himself. Dan at that moment turns to start with Quinn, telling her that he tried to warn her not to hang out with Cole and his friends, but she was stubborn and didn't listen. The man was about to shoot her with a gun when her father arrived just in time, driving his car into the building. Unfortunately, he knocked down the platform where Cole was standing. Cole remains standing on top of the car on his toes, while Glenn apparently got rid of two clowns. He then goes out to eliminate the rest, but unfortunately Dan shoots him in the leg. His daughter saves him by hitting the officer with the electric baton. Officer Dan tries to kill her, but she escapes just in time. He chases her, leaving Arthur to deal with his son. As for Quinn, she had hidden in a room filled with clown costumes. Let's go back to Arthur, who hits our protagonist's father with a stick and goes to start the car to hang his son. In the same breath, Quinn hides in a costume and waits until Dan opens the door of the room for her. He enters looking for her, and she ambushes him with the electric baton, sticking it in his mouth and killing him. As for Arthur, he was still trying to start the car, but luckily a piece of metal jammed it. He gets angry and gets out to remove it from the road. At that moment, his son tells him that they weren't the ones who started the fire at the factory. The man turns out to know, because he was the one who started it. He started the fire in his own factory to collect insurance money. The man starts laughing and gets into the car, driving away and leaving his son to struggle. Fortunately, Cole gets up from the ground and tries to help himself but can't until Rust arrives with a weapon. Rust cuts the rope and saves him at the last moment. It seems the boy survived the explosion from earlier, and so did our protagonist, who hugs her father. They then leave together and escape to the city in Bay's car. Quinn at that moment asks her father to teach her how to shift gears, and he starts giving her instructions until she starts the car. She drives into the last remaining clown, turning him into minced meat, and they continue their way out of the city. The city where many things have changed, like her father, who ran for mayor because Arthur was jailed for what he did. As for our protagonist, it seems she succeeded in her last year and will now move to university. She will leave her father alone, but it seems she will visit him sometimes because she will miss him and the city. The memories she experienced here will stick in her mind, especially the bad memories she lived with the clowns, whom she now hates to a great extent.